love is a drug. And I know that's so cliche, but it really is. It just like consumes you. And then, 6 years rolls by and you're like, well, what have I done for me? So I just want to thank Genius for having me today. Thank you for all the love on Corazon, Frio. They really liked the song, and I've always wanted to be on the show.
NEZZA, this is just a parody. We're in my room.
This isn't the real Genius?
Literally, we're just in my room. Who are you trying to impress here?
I'm bored.
Who are you talking to? It's just me here.
So I was in Miami working on the album, and I was very much in my feels back then, and Meraki, the producer, presented me Corazon Frio, and all that we had were those words, Corazon Frio, but it was just so strong to me just because it resonated with what I've been going through and not really being able to fall in love again, and not being able to be warm to the thought of love. And so I just thought that was really cool, and we rolled with it. Dicen que fue mi culpa y quizás sea verdad. No tiene corazón, nena es un cabrón, cuidado puede lastimar. Dicen que fue mi culpa. Sometimes when you get out of a relationship, it's so easy to blame the other person and, think that it wasn't your fault. And, in this case, I had so many people telling me that, it was my fault that I allowed him to do the things that he did and continued to take him back. I could have walked away, and I didn't. But also in that situation, I feel like love is a drug. And I know that's so cliche, but it really is. It just like consumes you. And then you find yourself, you get this satisfaction of making sure the other person is happy and making sure that they're okay. And then, you find yourself every day kind of seeking that, and that you kind of sacrifice things in your own life. And then, 6 years rolls by and you're like, well, what have I done for me? And then you're like, am I where I said I would be 5 years ago? And did I put the effort that I put into this other person into myself? And the answer was no. And so that's when I knew that I had to walk away. Fuiste inteligente, supiste cómo jugar, un profesional en el arte de manipular. So he wasn't a bad person. I'm not gonna, sit here and be like, he's a monster, because he really wasn't. I feel like he always just assumed that I would come back. And so, I feel like that's the reason why he did the things that he did. Y te perdoné una y otra vez, cosas que a nadie más. Por ti yo cambié una y otra vez, lo que no debía cambiar. So I forgave him una y otra vez, one another time, because it was twice. It wasn't like a lot of times. It was like two very specific things that happened. And I still forgave him, and I still took him back when I shouldn't have. It's crazy because, like, if any of my girls were going through something like that, I would tell them to run. But, I was in that situation, and I just couldn't get out. It's funny looking back, because future me would look back and be like, girl, what are you doing? Leave. But yeah, it's just hard. It's always hard.
Corazón frío, tan frío sin ti. No siento nada por nada aquí. Solo dejaste vacío en mí. Corazón frío, tan frío por ti. Pretty good?
It's pretty good. Corazón frío, tan frío sin ti. No siento nada por nadie aquí. Solo dejaste vacío en mí. Corazón frío, tan frío por ti. So I haven't fallen in love like that since, and it's just been really hard to let anyone in again, and essentially that's trust issues. But it's a little more than that. It's just like, that was 6 years. That was a big chunk of my life, and I think a part of me is just kind of scared to go through that again, to just end up with nothing. And, so that's kind of why Corazón Frio resonated with me, is because I really have not felt that again. But also no one's thawed my heart, so yeah. What? Recuerdo los días cuando me decías, NEZZA que soy tuyo, y yo te creía cuando te llamaban y tú me decías que no era nada. So when we were writing Corazón Frio, we all sat in a circle, and I basically just vented about the entire relationship and told them in detail everything that happened. And so this was one of those specific things that happened, and so we decided to write about it. He would get these calls and these texts from a specific person, and he would tell me not to worry, and then it turned out in the end that he was seeing her. So yeah, and I feel like telling that story in that circle, it kind of resonated with a lot of the girls in the room, so we just decided to put it in. Y ahora me sé toda la verdad, porque las mentiras no duran nada. Tú siempre fuiste mucho bla bla bla. Ahora te arrepientes muy tarde ya. So I eventually found out the truth in the craziest way, which I won't get into. So when I confronted him about it, it was just a bunch of excuses and blah blah blah. So I just felt that was perfect for that. Yeah, and then he, regretted it and immediately, wanted me back, and by then it was too late. So the bridge, we decided not to put lyrics to it just because I went in and did the melody, and we put down the harmonies, and we said we would come back to it. But then when we played the whole song, there was just something about it that just felt right, and it felt good, so we just decided to keep it as is. So that was my bootleg genius interview for Corazón Frio. I think what mainly I want people to take away from this is to just look out for yourself, and don't let love consume you 100%, because you don't want to end up down the road and look back and be like, how have I elevated? That was my genius interview from David's bedroom.
Yeah, it was. Oh, baby, we're genius.
Do you want to come say a few words?
Scoot over. All right, guys, I just want to say, if you're in a relationship, make sure you say sorry when you mess up, like I did. Clearly, I gave her a good song because of this messed up relationship, but at least I owned up to my mistakes. So, my bad, dog. Also, sorry I was talking to Franny, your best friend. Also, just kidding, guys. No, this is real.
No way. So yeah, you guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you liked this fake genius interview. I hope to get a real genius interview one day. Go DM them, tag them, all that good stuff. Let them know that you want me on the channel. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Comment down below your favorite lyrics from Corazón Frio.
Mine is the
That's your favorite?
It's so good.
David's favorite lyric is the non-lyrics. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Join the family. Subscribe to Papo's channel. I will have everything down below. And I love ya. We're doing so great. And I'll see you guys next time.
Also, make sure you wear some sweaters so your Corazon doesn't get Frio.
What he said. Peace out, Cub Scouts.
What the hell? Who hurt you?
Me. His name is... No siento nada lucky. It's so easy slow. Sorry. What am I paying you for?
You don't even pay me.
What does it look like?
Yeah.
Genius, genius, genius! And I was wearing a tank top, so like literally, my corazon was frio. I haven't been in love like that since then. Oh my gosh, guys, look at how we set this up. Welcome to our bootleg genius set.
Look at this. Hold on, let me back up even more.
So
My room, I had to clear it all out.
this is where all the magic happened, so.
Look at this, guys.
Thanks,
You
David.
don't even have a stand, so I had to nail the green screen.
We nailed and taped it. And then we got good old Downing wrinkle releaser, not sponsored, but I wish.